Chef say I gotta kill this.
I'm two player eight.
Hey, man, that give me every time. I don't know why, bro.
It's because
Hey.
when he clap, it'd be like,
Yeah.
there it is.
There it is. I take that one, man. I take that one, man. He put some testosterone in that one. Huh? Yeah. Man, welcome back to another episode of Can I Be Real, man, where we like to take a break from the bullshit. As always, man, I'm your host, man, King Mozzie, a Menace to Society. Don't ask me why that's what life put inside me. And I got my brother with me, you know what I'm saying? The other half, one half of the podcast, you know what I'm saying? Dos Menos, you know what I'm saying? Number two, not number two. He top two and he ain't number two, so I'm gonna put it like that. Man, go introduce yourself, my brother.
Hey, man, it's your boy Dion the Motivator, man. You know what I'm saying? In the building, man. Think big all day long. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I like that, man. You got straight to it, my brother.
Hey, man, you know.
I like that shirt too, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I like that shirt. I like that shirt. I like that shirt.
Little real department.
Little real department, man. I got something on too, bro.
Hey, you coming with it every week, man. You
Every
know, like
week,
I said,
man.
Bro, we here to work,
Yeah.
so we wear our work clothes.
Where I work
You know
clothes,
what I'm
bro.
saying? Something nice,
Yeah.
some simple, some
You know what I mean?
fly, some fresh,
Straight to
some-
the point.
Some straight to the
Just
point.
that
man.
real department, bro.
Yeah,
Straight
yeah,
that real
Can I be
department.
Hey, like
man.
we do at the bottom of the screen, man.
Can I, man, go on shop, man. Go
Yeah.
out there, make you a nice little purchase.
Yes.
Get you something for women. Your man will appreciate you, and I'm
Facts.
pretty sure he will display
Mm-hmm.
that appreciation in other ways. You know, maybe you've been waiting to get that ring and that marriage. You know what I'm saying? You get that real department.
He
you
gonna
may
get him that ring.
You may get that real ring.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
You know, he ain't cut the grass in the last few days. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Been complaining about, you know, or maybe he ain't got to take you to the Cheesecake Factory as of lately, you know. Go on
they
over there,
need to
make
do.
your purchase.
Yeah.
That real department. I guarantee you it's gonna get you that, you know what I'm saying, that ring. He gonna wake up doing chores, and he may do some other things that you may want to do that he ain't been doing because he had that real department on there. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, man, we got a special one in the building, bruh.
Yes, sir.
Man,
sir.
I'm you know, I always let my brother get an introduction because he gonna speak how it's supposed to be done. You got something put together?
I got something for him, man. You ready?
Okay, go ahead.
all right,
Go
all
ahead. No Diddy though, but go ahead.
No Diddy. I ain't got nothing for him, but I got something for y'all. No Diddy. Hey, it ain't no Diddy no more. It's no Drake. Yeah,
No-
no Drake. No Drake. No Drizzy.
No Drizzy.
No Drizzy.
No Drizzy.
No Drizzy. Hey, but hey, man, listen though, man. We got somebody special in the building, man.
Okay.
We have a best-selling author.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Community activist.
Okay.
Can I say philanthropist?
Okay. I can't
You know
spell
what I'm
that.
saying? Hey, president of the Urban Specialist. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Co-chair of Heal America. Man, we got Mr. Anton Speaks, aka Anton Lucky, in the building for the second time, man. Appreciate you coming through, baby.
Hey, man. Man,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
happy to be here, man. This our second time,
Our
so you
second
know,
time, for sure,
yeah,
for
Dion
sure,
and
for sure.
Mozzie, man, y'all know I'm showing up.
No,
Hey,
for
man, we
sure,
appreciate you,
man. We appreciate it. We appreciate it for sure, man.
For real. Nothing but love, man.
So we kind of spoke about it a little bit already, though,
Yeah,
man. But
yeah.
you know, we had one show already. We had some technical difficulties early on in our career, man. So we couldn't get the full. We had the audio, great audio, bro, but we
Amazing.
had no visuals. So this is first for y'all, but second for us.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So the conversation it'd be a little bit more.
Man, I was cool with the visuals, man. I mean, y'all must be. I say, boy, y'all at the top of the line, cause I was cool with the visuals.
Man,
Y'all
so
passed?
we got our guys on where he had to skate, but we got our guys that be having them perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I appreciate it, man, cause I thought I looked good on that.
Nah, hey,
on that. I said, boy, they did it.
Yeah. Nah, we're
The
gonna.
team made it do what it do. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
yeah.
square, baby.
But you know, like sometimes, man, when you new and you excited, you know, you kind of overlook things.
Yeah, I ain't
Yeah.
paying attention to the
not
little
paying
shit.
attention.
Yeah.
we kind of missed some steps, but like you said, man, we appreciate you for double backing with us, man. And coming through and showing you love and support, man.
Nah, man, I appreciate y'all because I was like, man, when Joe hit me up and he was like, man, we gotta do it over. I said, wow, it look good.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, man, they gotta get the break, gotta get the visual right. I'm like, nah. I said, man, it look good, but I'm good if y'all want to do it again. But it looks good to me.
Nah,
if it look better than that, boy, I say, hey,
yeah, no, we finna look way better than that now. Yeah, we finna look way better.
And you know, even if it do look good, man, even it could look the best, man. We just enjoy your company, though. You know.
Oh no, likewise.
Conversation, man. Like you gave us so many gems, and you dropped so many jewels last time that it's like when we sat down for season 2, we like, man, what we gonna do for season 2? And it's like,
already.
We thought about people we bring, and you was like top of our list, man. Because
appreciate it, man.
This is the Can I Be Real show, and we know that. Through the work you do, it's nothing but real, man.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
It's only right that you know you come on here and bless.
Man, I appreciate y'all having me back, man. I feel special, man.
Man, I definitely I have to extend my appreciation because you know, I had to get some situations took care of.
Yeah.
Came out there to the community event, you know, passed out some turkey. We walked.
Yes. Yeah.
Man, they had us walking in South Dallas.
Yeah. What you say? What you say?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let me.
You gotta say it right.
I was in Sad Alley.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I was in Sad Alley.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a Pleasant Grove baby.
Yeah.
So we already know how it go.
It's all love.
Hey man,
it's all love.
that little store, that little shopping center right there.
Yeah.
Hey man, that's some spot. That whole little street right there is some spots, man. So they had us white. They said, man, we finna.
Man, I appreciate you for coming out for that too, man. That was beautiful, man, to see that, man. You know, that was beautiful. I appreciate you.
It was a real good turnout too.
Yeah,
that was
thank
a real
you,
good
man.
turnout. We passed out some turkeys.
Shout out to the team, man. You know, we got an amazing team that put in the work, man. They all about the work, man. They all about serving people. Sometimes they serve so much, I be like, hold up, come on back in. But they serve people, man. That's what I love about my team.
Man, so before we dive in that, man, how y'all week been, man? How y'all been? You know what I'm saying? I just want a mental check. How y'all feeling, man?
Go ahead, man.
Man, I've been good, man. I just got back from Vegas, man. I was in Vegas. Shout out to John Ponder with Hope for Prisoners. Man, he brought together April was Second Chance Month, you know, for people who are coming home from prison. This is a second chance, right? And so John Ponder, man, my guy out in Vegas, he the CEO of Hope for Prisoners. He brought together like 10 people who are killing the game, you know. Shout out to Alice Marie Johnson. Y'all remember Kim Kardashian freed her. Donald Trump gave her a pardon. My boy, boss man, Bruse, man, y'all know him from Dallas, big reform. My guy Dunk Speaks, man, Dunk, you know, Lil Boosie for his cousin in Atlanta. And it was some more people, man. It was some more amazing brothers who just like putting in work, like really killing the game in their cities. And so we did a panel in Vegas, man. It was off chain. So I'm just getting back from that, man. I had fun, man.
Oh, how long you was out there?
We was out there for 3 or 4 days. It was like 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
It was a big gala, man. It was off the chain.
You did a little gambling out there?
Nah, I ain't do no gambling, man. I passed by the casino, man. I just kept walking, man. It was funny, man, 'cause I with my daughter, right? My daughter is my content creator, so she fly with me everywhere I go, and she create content. And she went in the bathroom, man. So I was standing in the casino, and this young girl walked up to me, and I seen her peeking me out, right?
Yeah.
So she walked up to me like, I'm trying to have fun.
Huh? How much you charging?
I don't even know, man.
I shouldn't
She said, who you here with? I said, I'm with my wife. She in the bathroom. She said, let me get away from you that I'm playing with her.
Some of them, they don't stop them out there. They shit. How much both y'all?
Oh, yeah.
Trying to have a little fun.
It was funny. I said, wow, it's just interesting. But my daughter came out the bathroom and she scattered away from me. But I had fun. I ain't do nothing. I ain't do no gambling.
Did y'all know that in Vegas, in the casinos, they set up everything to keep you at the table?
I already knew it.
I didn't know that.
I already knew it.
Like science behind it, like from they said from the AC to the music to the drinks to the lights, everything is designed to keep you like energized, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Dopamine hits from everywhere.
Yes,
you know
indeed.
Damn, man, that's wild. That's wild.
I stayed away from the table.
No,
I can't gamble unless I know I'm winning.
know you win now.
It's got to be rigged for me to win. I can't get my mind up like that.
Nah, facts.
Yeah.
Man, how your week been, brother?
Man, my week been good, man. I've been having a good week. I ain't gonna lie, I've been busy with the kids. You know, my son playing basketball, so we went to Austin last weekend. They lost.
Yeah.
Damn.
But it was a good experience for him, man.
Yeah.
It was a good experience. It's the first traveling trip fifth grade. So man, I'm just excited about that, man. Just to kind of see,
Really?
you know, how that's gonna end up. But like I say every week, man, it's a lesson in it, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
And we was in Houston. We had to be up at 5 in the morning, and we were up from 5. We didn't get back to the hotel till like 8. And my son was like, "Daddy, I'm up. I'm ready to go. I'm energized." And I was telling him like, "Look, bro, this is Saturday, and you've been up since 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And it's 8 o'clock, and you still got energy. If we were at home, you'll be saying you tired.
Yeah.
You'll be saying you this and that." I was like, "What's keeping you up? What's keeping?"
Right.
He was like, "Cause I want to play basketball." I said, "I need you to use that same energy
Yeah.
in everything you do."
Facts.
And
Facts.
that's the lesson for me from last week, man. This is like what we want to do, we put the energy towards it. And for me, man, just moving forward is just like just being intentional and focused on what I'm doing, man. So
Man, I noticed, I won't try to run the show, but man, I just gotta applaud you because I love when I hear like fathers, man, who are in their kids' life, man. Because I'm a girl dad, and I got a son too, man. But all too often, we don't get enough. Like even as minuscule as that was, but I think it's important. Like when you have real men, real fathers who are present in their kids' life, man. Because you can't get that. We don't highlight that enough. But every time I hear it, like I appreciate a brother who is in their kid's life because I understand how important that is. And that might not mean nothing, but that's important. Yeah, that's important.
Facts.
Yeah.
Nah, that's fact. That's
what
fact.
about yourself, my brother?
Man, I had a solid week, man. I think the same thing, just working on being more intentional about the stuff that I'm doing. I've been on a 100-day journey, so I'm on day 25 right
Wow.
now. So it's called a Kaiser project. I
Yeah.
could be saying the first part wrong, but it's like Kaiser project. So it's 6, like I tell you, 6 different steps. Do something to improve your mental, something to improve your physical. Do one thing that's uncomfortable. Do a clean diet. And then make one new connection every week, and then
that's dope.
produce something. So it's 16, so it helps you produce. The overall goal is to help you stay disciplined and stay consistent.
Right.
So everything I've been focused on lately has been like just strictly making sure I'm doing everything intentionally. So I'm in school too, bro. Of course, I gotta get my workout in. So I'm reading more. So yeah, I've been trying to just elevate, bro.
Now shout out. That's
I've been trying to
big.
elevate
That's
for
big.
sure. So yeah, man. But overall, bro, solid week, man.
Oh, yeah.
Solid week, yeah, for sure. You know, we here at the most important day of the week.
Yes,
You know what I'm
indeed.
saying? You know.
Yes, indeed.
We
So
here, man.
we here, man.
Yeah,
So
for
we
sure.
got
Hey man, but and I ain't gonna lie though, it's been an exciting week with the Kendrick and Drake too. I ain't gonna lie,
Bro, it's been crazy, bro.
It's been a little crazy.
It's been crazy.
Yeah.
We gonna weigh in on that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, but hey man, let's hop right into it, man. And I know we introduce you. But if you can introduce, and let the audience know who you are from your point of view and from your words, man.
Oh man, okay. Every time I get the mic, I take it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I take it. But I'm Anton Bruce Wane Lucky. Most people know me by Bruce Wane. I'm CEO of an organization called Urban Specialists. And Urban Specialists is an organization that's been around like 27 years, seeking to disrupt trends of violence and poverty in urban communities. It was started with myself and the late great Bishop Omar, who passed away in 2021 from COVID, who was my mentor, my big brother, my spiritual leader, the whole 9 yards. But me and him connected when I first got out of prison, just on this whole tip about how do we dig into violence in our communities? How do we get young people to choose this way versus that way? And so we've been doing that work for about, like I said, 25 years now. And it's a lot of stuff that I do. I'm an author, as you mentioned earlier. I wrote a memoir called A Redemptive Path Forward from Incarceration to a Life of Activism, where I'm just talking about like my journey from coming from a single parent, father in prison, gang-infested neighborhood, starting gang, getting into drugs, going to prison, the whole 9 yards. I give you that. And then ultimately in prison, making the decision after seeing like numerous men who were in prison, who wasn't being accountable, who wasn't thinking about the impact that they had on their kids, et cetera, but just kind of like sitting around on the rec yard having pastimes. And I just said I didn't want to be that. And so in prison, met a mentor named Willie Fleming who came up to me in prison, was just basically like, hey, brother, these brothers are following you. They falling out of place. They doing whatever you ask them to do. He said specifically, like, if you have the ability within you to lead these brothers wrong. Within you also is the ability to lead them right. And so that moment kind of changed the trajectory of my life. I began to teach. I made prison my college. I denounced my gang in prison. And I made a vow to God that I would get out. Once, if he released me, I would get out and spend the rest of my life like dedicated to young people, dedicated to communities, dedicated to providing the right kind of information that our community leave and being a leader. And so 24 years later, I've cemented myself in the streets, in the game, in terms of being a person who does exactly that, you know. And so that's who I am, man. You know, and God been good. I mean, I gotta say this. When I left prison, I didn't have nothing, right? I had nothing but an idea and a dream and a belief and a purpose and passion. And it ain't been an easy road, but I stayed committed. But God has really blessed me, man, to be able to be who I am in the culture and who I am to inspiration to brothers all across the country, not just here in Texas, but leading the way in terms of this how you do it. Transformation and redemption is possible. So I'm happy to be here, man. I'm happy here to be with you, brothers, man. You know, can I be real? You know,
yeah, man. Can I be real?
See, this is the real department. I gotta get some beer too, man.
Man, we got you. We gonna get you right. We gonna get you right.
Yeah.
But you said something that was important that and it stuck out to me because I was literally talking to one of my good friends about that. You brought up mentor.
Yes.
I think that's something that our community in particular really don't have an understanding of, because I was talking to my guy, we was talking about, financial literacy. And I was telling him, I said, man, one of the most simplest ways that we can grow that, but we don't know, is because we don't understand how important having a mentor is and what a mentor can do for you, to help you grow. So how did having a mentor impact you?
Man, I think having a mentor is critical to anybody's success, because a mentor, first of all, I say a mentor is not perfect, but a mentor is someone who cares enough about you to say, I'm gonna use my experience to give you what I know against what you think you know. Let me give you some information. And so what was important for me is having Willie Ray Fleming as a mentor in prison, because this was a guy who had been in prison, who had been down these ropes, who had said, man, look, I see something in you. I see you. And he set me up to meet my free world mentor, which was Omar Jawar, then turned Bishop Omar Jawar. And it's important for that, man. It's important to have somebody who can correct you, who can check you, who can see your blind spot, because we all got blind spots, whether we accept it or not. We all have that, like Jahari wonder, that hidden self that only others see that we don't see. And so you got to have people who can look at you and say, listen, man, you veering off course right here. And we have to be humble enough to accept that. We have to be humble enough to say, man, I accept that. I accept what you give me. And having that mentor is critical. I mean, it's critical to success. We can think like, hey, man, I can do this by myself. I don't need nobody. But in order to understand where you're going, you got to know where you've been. You know what I'm saying? You got to have somebody who covered those tracks. So I'm a staunch advocate for having mentors in our life. You know what I'm saying? That's important.
Ooh, man, that's a wall right there.
Man, but I think when I first moved out here from Alabama, right? Someone presented that ideal of a mentor to me.
Right.
And I'm gonna be honest, man, I fought it for a while. Because it was like, mentor, like, I don't want to. Somebody got to tell me what to do. Be doing this and this and that. I think for me, it was the hardest part was that accountability.
It's accountability.
Yeah, like nobody. But how do you get guys like that's in those positions that like you see them right and you know like, man, if they just had a mentor, if they would just listen to what I'm saying, like how do you convince those type people to not necessarily convince them to take ownership, but how do you mentor those type people?
By being a witness. You have to be a witness. When I'm talking about mentors, I'm talking about somebody who a witness, somebody who not an advocate but a witness. I think we need more witnesses, people who have lived experience, who've been through some stuff. Who can keep us on track. And having a mentor is a test of humility too. You know, being humble enough to allow somebody to tell you something or to give you something that you ain't got. And you don't have to take everything from that a mentor tell you, but it's having somebody that you can draw from, that you can pull from, that give you that kind of information, you know. And so it's critically important. I mean, I think when you look at what's happening in our communities, you know, we see the uptick in violence and all the stuff you see. It's because you have kids who are growing up single parent household, father across town in prison, this you know, whatever the relationship is, and then you have kids who trying to figure it out on their own. And we have the tendency to look at these kids and think like they grown, they this, but these are kids who don't have information and they figuring it out as they go. But just think if they had somebody who can say, listen, man, this is a landmine. If you step right here, you're going to blow up. Yeah. If you step right here, your life over. If you step right here, it's prison. Because I done been down this path. And not only that, people who can say, man, I love you, I see you. Give them that love that they trying to compensate for having a parent missing. You know what I'm saying? So mentors is critical to, and there's a lot of data that suggests like when young people have mentors, they're more likely to graduate, they're not likely to drop out, they more likely not to go to prison. It's a lot of data that suggests that. And it's other data that suggests if you don't have a mentor, what those statistics look like. So, you know, it's important.
At this point in your life, do you still have a mentor?
Oh yeah, I have a couple of mentors. Man, I was just with my mentor, Bob Wilson. Shout out to Bob Wilson, who is the godfather of the movement. He been doing this work for about 40, close to 50 years, 80 some years old. Who I've sucked up so much from him, man. I watch anytime I'm going to go speak somewhere, I spend at least an hour watching his YouTube video because he has so much wisdom and so much knowledge that he imparted into me.
So before we get into what you do now, 'cause I definitely gotta know about. So they call you Bruce Wane.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of names, but so Bruce Wane. I ain't gonna, when they told when I got there, he hit us up. He said, "Man, you got interviews with the guy Bruce Wane." I'm like, "Bruce Wane? It's only one Bruce Wane I know." You know what I'm saying? He from Gotham City though. You know what I'm saying? So where did the name Bruce Wane come from?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, man. That's the interesting question. Thank you for asking me, man. When I got out of prison, in prison, I made a 180-degree change in my life. I denounced my gang, and I said I agreed to be on this side. And
was it hard to make that switch for you?
No, because for me, I had did self-inventory of myself, and I said, man, I spent the half of my life, you know, banging and doing all this stuff that led me here, right? You know, and I put my life at risk for that, right? All the stuff that I was doing. And when I was self-introspective and really saying, man, I got a 2-week-old baby who was just born, my first daughter, and then I was sentenced to prison. And I remember saying to myself, like, I didn't want to be to my daughter what my father was to me, because my father did 37 years out of my life in prison. So my daughter was the catalyst for my change, because I said I understood how I felt as a kid growing up trying to feel my way without that father, without that mentor, without that person who can give me my identity. And I remember saying to myself, like, man, if I spent half of my life gangbanging, hurting people that can risk me my life, then I don't have no problem saying that I'm gonna spend the rest of my life doing what's right. And even if it costs me the same consequences as doing wrong, at least I'm doing right though. You know what I'm saying? And so when I made that decision, that was a decision that I made that I didn't question. I didn't question it. I said, whatever was gonna happen to me, it come with me. And I'll just say this for the listeners, man. Unless you sure, do not denounce your gang in prison unless you really sick.
So that's why I asked. That's why I asked. When I hear so much of people saying like they denounce that gang, this is man, it's like the consequences that can come about.
It's some consequences
on where you at.
Yeah, it's some consequences. Because brothers gonna be observing you, and if it came out of fear or if it came out of you just trying to, you know, until you get somewhere, they gonna sense that. But for me, man, I was so committed and dedicated to doing what I was doing that I didn't, you know, I said whatever come with this decision I made, I'm willing to face. I'm willing to face, because in my mind, I thought I was doing it which I was doing it for my daughter and for my family.
So but yeah, I had to get that.
But it's crazy that you would think people would respect that though.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like I'm trying to do better.
Oh no, it's a difference. You know, like Mazzy said, it's a difference. But to answer your question though, when I got out of prison, and I had made this transformation, this change, and I really wasn't the same person, in a sense. When I got out of prison, everybody knew me from my previous name before I went, right? And so when I would meet people in this new mindset, and I said my nickname, everybody that I met had some type of connotation attached to it. They had some type of story attached to it. Like, I didn't know. Like, I would meet people in prison, right? And I would tell them I would meet people in prison, tell them where I'm from, and I would hear dudes tell me about me, right? Like, man, I know, man, you from such and such, you know Kiddo, and you know blah, 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 we used to blah, 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 and they talking to me and not even knowing it. And then when I got out, every time I would meet somebody, they had a story attached to my name, whether it was true, whether it was folklore, whether it's fairy tale, whatever it was, they had a story, and it just didn't give me the proper footing. So I said, man, I got to change this. I said, because I ain't getting no action. So I said, what name can I change to? And then I thought about it, and I said, Bruce Wane. I said, Bruce Wane, man, he a crime fighter at night, trying to save Gotham. He a businessman by day. And I said, boy, that's me. I said, that's me, man. Like, I'm relevant to the hood. I'm still, I have my, my hood significance, but really I'm trying to save the hood from itself. And so Bruce Wane was just fitting. When I got 24 years of being called Bruce Wane. It's some people now, if you told them my nickname, they'd be like, nah, that ain't the same person. That ain't him. That's Bruce Wane. So I put 24 years into that, man, building that moniker to give me an opportunity to introduce myself in a new light, post prison. So that's how I came up with that.
How was that though? Like telling people like, call me Bruce Wayne. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
like,
I'm Bruce Wayne.
Like, I'm Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because I know for me, if somebody, like, it'd be hard for me to like people used to call me Freeze back in the day.
Yeah.
And like I at first I liked that name, but then it's like when I moved to Dallas, nobody knew me as Freeze. Yeah. So I'm trying to tell if they like D. They make up their so after a while I just leave it alone. Like how is that though? Like to make that like you really telling people that know like no, call me
Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne. Like I'm Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, what was that first person? Bruce Wayne.
It was all of that, man. But I was so committed to that name, and I was so committed to changing the connotation of who I was and getting a proper footing in terms of who I was reinventing myself to be. That man, it was at first it was strange. People they didn't want to, but after a while, man, people just they adopted it, man. They just like that's Bruce Wayne.
You know how your partners.
I got confused at one time.
I ain't calling you that. You Jim, man. Come on, bro. Now you out there.
I had those partners who it took them a while to and that's crazy too. That's a good question because it took some people a while to transition who knew me back in the past. But it was just interesting when they started calling me Bruce Wayne. When those people who were close to me called me Bruce Wayne, it was like they bought in.
How you meet crazy ass Uncle JoJo back there?
Man, look, JoJo, man, my brother JoJo.
Shout out to Uncle
JoJo. I got the mic, man. If he
watching,
he probably sweating, man. But man, listen, it was crazy because we had been doing this work for a while, and then Corey Cleghorn with Clout was telling me like, man, I guess he had met Joe, and he was saying, man, you need to meet JoJo. He a good guy, blah blah blah, et cetera, et cetera. And then Corey know like I'm for real about the work I do and all this kind of stuff, and I'm not ego, even though people try to make me be about that. I'm not that at all. I've really done the work. And when I met JoJo, right, I remember after I met him, I think Corey and maybe Taylor Simone connected us. But when I met him, I said, man, I don't like this dude. I said, I don't like this dude. I ain't like it. I really did. I said, this dude, I know I'm not gonna vibe with him. I said, I know I'm not gonna. We gonna clash a lot. I said, I don't like him. And I really said that. I mean, I really was like, man, I ain't, man. Because they were trying to connect me. Corey kept saying, like, man, you got to connect. I said, bro, I'm not thinking about no JoJo, bro. Leave me alone about JoJo. But we end up connected, man. And me and Joe end up being real tight, man. I mean, tighter than some people who've been around me for a while. You know, being around after I looked past, you know, because I was looking through my lens. I had to take my lenses off. But when I looked past that and seen his heart, you know, and seeing what he cared about, even though he can be a little crazy, you know, he was trying to get in this Gemini stuff and, you know, he get cockeyed every now and then. But what I realized, he get cockeyed every now and then, you know, and he trying to make a point. But I realized though that he was a real brother. You know, we shared that we both good dads, and he had a real passion for the work that he does.
For sure.
So that kind of connected us more than anything. You know, you know, when I seen that, I was like, whoa, you know, and we just gelled, man, because he was really passionate about the work. So and when people are passionate about the work and who they really are, and they not pretending to be somebody else, even in his idiosyncrasies, you know, he got some idiosyncrasies that, you know, we all like a bug, you know, but at the core, who we are, he a real brother who, you know, he a stand up guy. You know, you know, you got to put up with him, but he mean well. He ain't gonna cross you out. He ain't gonna play you. You know, his loyalty is there. So that's the stuff that invisible qualities that drew me to him, man. And we've been locked in ever since.
Man, shout out to Joe.
Seems like I've been knowing him forever, man. You know, way we all
Captain Joe there, man.
Yeah,
the other half of the Gemini.
Yeah. Oh, you a Gemini?
Nah, I'm talking no.
Okay.
You know, they say Gemini like two phases.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, when I first met him, I met the regular JoJo.
Yeah.
But then he had the gas station shit.
Yeah.
And he pulled out the cape, and I said, man, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Hey, he be serious too, man. He pull out. See, that's when I knew. That's what really made me like him too. Cause he'll pull out that cape and that camera anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, you know, and for me, like if a person do that, man, they committed.
Yeah, all the way in.
You know,
all the way
they
in,
committed for real. You know, they pull out a cape. You know, he committed. That's my brother.
Thanks.
Hey, shout out to JoJo.
Shout out to
Hey,
JoJo.
like I tell y'all, man, if y'all need any content shot, come on down to Love the Pot.
Yeah, love the pot.
So.
Yeah, Love the Pot.
So you have the organization, 25 years in, Urban Specialist.
Right.
So how'd you come up with that name? Where did that name come from?
Urban Specialist actually started. Bishop Omar came up with the name Urban Specialist because our organization used to be Vision Regeneration, right? Trying to regenerate a new vision, but we stopped doing it in like 2014 or 15, somewhere like that. We took a break, and we came back, and we were just brainstorming. We was at his house brainstorming. And what he was saying was, man, really. Wait, no, I take that back. He was using that word, urban specialist, way back in the early 2000s. It was just a word that we used. Like we specialize in the urban terrain.
Okay.
And then and so when we rebranded in 2016, we just said urban specialist because that's who we are. We, you know, you have to have a certain lens and a certain focus and a certain realness to understand the urban culture. And he said we specialists because we've been doing it, and we just used 2016 when we started. Yeah.
How many people in y'all organization?
Right now, we have 20 people that's on staff. 20 people on staff, but we've impacted probably since 2016 probably over 18,000 people, you know, who've benefited some way from the organization that we work with.
Man, so what's one of the most impactful stories from working with the organization that you have?
Man, I got so many stories, man. So many stories. I go recently, just doing I go recently, right? Now I'm gonna tell you one that just happened Friday. Okay. I ain't gonna even go back in the archive because I got a lot of stories. Young people whose lives have changed from the work that we do, families whose lives have changed. But look, just recently, right, I had a brother come to me, OG out of North Dallas. I won't say his name, but he was having some problems. His son is in youth prison, right? Mm-hmm. And he was having some problems with the administration and his son. And so he reached out to me, right? and he reached out to me, was saying like, man, I'm about to crash, bro. I need some help. This was Friday. And so unbeknownst to him, I was meeting with some top administrators of the prison that his kid was in. And I didn't even know it. I didn't know his kid was in that prison. And so I said, man, I'm meeting with some people, man. I said, let me meet with them and then I'll meet with you, right? So he come to the office, right? And I'm still in the meeting with the administrator. And I said, man, come in the meeting. I told him, come on in. I just said, come on in. I just took a gamble. I said, come on in and wait till I finish. And so at a point in the meeting, I said, listen, I was talking about my experience of going to youth prison and all that good stuff when I was a kid. I talked about that, and then I said, here go a father whose son is in prison. I don't know what the situation is, but if you don't mind sharing it, just sharing it, because these people who are administrators, they making help. I don't know. And so this father began to share his story, right? And what I heard, he was telling me, he was talking to them about his son, but what I heard was a passionate father who really, really was transparent about his situation and his deep concern for his 15-year-old kid, right? Because it was a counselor, somebody up there that was playing with his kid freedom, right? Moving the goalposts, right? And he shared that, right? And we was in that meeting, right? And I mean, he was in tears, man. It was real OG. And so when they left, right, it was a great conversation. When they left, his son didn't have an out date, right? So me and him was sitting in the office for about 45 minutes, man. I was just sharing with him, sharing with him about his experience, what he was going through and all that good stuff. And while we was sitting in the office, he get a call. The lady who he was just speaking of, that he was saying was playing with his son, moving the goalposts, she called and he put it on speaker. And she was very, very nice. And she said to him, hey, she said, we about to discharge your son. Are you ready to, are you willing to sign the papers, et cetera, and go through therapy, et cetera, right? And he put it on mute, and he just started crying, right? He had just started crying because he didn't have an out date, right? But she was like, we gonna release your son. We just need you to sign the papers, right? And when he hung up the phone, and I told him, man, I said, look at God. I said, that's God. I said, but I'm not gonna discount what just happened in this meeting. Didn't travel back. But we gonna acknowledge that was God, man. And he was just like in tears, like, man, thank you, bro. He was like, thank you, bro. Like, thank you, bro. Those kind of stories right there mean a lot when you have the ability to impact like that. I got hundreds of stories of people, like not for the cameras. I'm talking about stuff like in private where people lives, like just recently a young lady was murdered at a block party that they had in East Dallas, innocently, right? Hanging out, she get hit in the head innocently. Beautiful young lady, beautiful smile. A young lady, they just said, just got a job, go to church, the whole 9 yards, right? And man, I reached out to her family in a DM, right? And the family they had just lost an uncle 3 days prior to this young lady. They hadn't even buried him. And so the family was really struggling in terms of how to get that young lady buried. And I made some calls and some posts and some messages, and we were able to get that young lady buried the way she needed to be buried. And her family, her aunt, was just so appreciative of that. It's just it's many stories like that, man, where you help people. Yeah.
And that kind of stuff is rewarding too, man.
Yeah. Spiritually.
Yeah, spiritually, man. Like, it takes you to another level, knowing that, like, dang, you was able to help somebody.
Yes.
Like, even like you said earlier in the show, like, it may be small to some people, but
yeah,
it mean the world to other people, man.
Boy.
And for you to even take up that mantle and carry that legacy on, man, like, that's commendable, man, because it takes a lot to do that. It takes a lot.
You got to push past your own self to really help other people, man, and know that, you may not get rewarded, physically or like that.
Yeah,
But
no, for sure.
but God, I think the key to why I'm so blessed, Dion and Mars, I'm like, cause I'm blessed. I mean, God has been blessing me. Thank God. I mean, He been blessing me. Now blessing me.
I see you shining.
I see you
like money, man.
looking
You know what
like
I'm saying?
money.
You look
I
like money.
I can smell it from over
I
here.
ain't got no money, B.
God has really like blessed me, and I really believe like the reason why I'm so blessed is because of those kind of stories that don't make the news, don't make the media. We don't publicize them; they happen in private. But I believe that my blessings is connected to that. When I was in Vegas, my mentor Bob Wilson shared with the group he dropped some jewels. He said, listen, brothers, I want y'all to understand, because everybody in the group is successful. He said, God don't require us to be successful. He just only requires us to be faithful. He said, be faithful, and success is his. You feel me? And that hit me like, ooh, that's a bar right there. He said, God don't require us to see so many people chasing success.
Facts.
God is saying be faithful.
Yeah.
Be faithful to your word, be loyal to your word, have principles, have morals, take care of people. Matthew 25, do all of that stuff, and I give you the success.
So let me ask you this. So on that note, right? So I just turned 30 this year.
Right.
So I'm right there on that cusp of like, I'm still like in that little bro section. I'm little bro, I'm big bro and some people, but I'm still got that little bro. But for us on the youth side, it's still like, how can you explain that to the youth? Because I feel like the youth are more the ones that make irrational decisions. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand when you're young, you have to make certain mistakes. That's the only way you can learn. Right. But I do understand, too, there are some mistakes that we don't have to make. Right. You know what I'm saying? Simply by listening. I know for me, when I was younger, I was hard-headed. I'm rebellious.
We all
were.
were.
Even now, I still got some rebellious way, but for the most part, it's like I was more inclined to listen to somebody that was, okay, well, you can reach success, because I'm seeing the rappers look a certain way. I'm seeing the athletes look a certain way. So in my mind, that's what I want to listen to, because they got what I think is success.
Right, you think what is success.
So it's like, how can we, or how do you reach somebody that's like, you know what, it ain't about that. I understand this what you want, but in the long run, it's not really about that.
It's simple. It's most people would rather see a sermon than hear one in a day. You feel me? People would rather see one than hear one in a day. We can talk all day, but they got to see. They got to see you modeling that behavior. It's what Dion was asking earlier. It's about having mentors, because a lot of people are attracted to flash, because people eat with their eyes. They're attracted to flash, but y'all know when you look deeply, a lot of the people that are posing by Lamborghinis that's on these trips, the cars, it's not theirs. Yeah. They own Spirit, and waiting on the when you got to wait till somebody cancel out the flight, all of those stuff. But they right, because it's all an illusion, man. But you have to invest. Whether you're a young person, you have to find your mentor who is honest, who is a witness, and then you have to be able to look past the flash. And we are living in a world where people they're caught up with the flash. All flash, no cash, man. People are caught up with the flash, the illusion of wealth, the illusion of success, and that's not really success. Though, think about all the people that's on social media who are fronting like they something that they not. Who are acting like they got something that they don't have. Just imagine, just step out yourself for a minute, and just imagine how that person feels, knowing damn well that they not at that place in their life, but they selling it to you like they is. Just imagine that, man. Imagine how miserable that has to be. You know what I'm saying? Imagine how you have to, when you turn the camera off, when you turn the ring light off, and you got to go back to your real life. To reality. Imagine, just imagine that person, right? How that person must feel on the inside, right? Because it's no shortcuts to being successful. There's no shortcuts. You have to really put in the work, and if you put in the work, you have the right principles, the right morals. cause in this day and age, it's almost like the principles and morals are not winning, but they are winning because even when you alluded to the rappers, right, and the athletes, not all of them, but you got to imagine all the people who they got money today, and then the next day they broke.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, they ain't got nothing. You know, you look at some of these athletes who are homeless now, et cetera, et cetera. That's not what we trying to be. You feel me? If I want to be successful, if I want to be successful, I got to be faithful to what God called me to do, and stay faithful to that, even when it don't look like it's happening. You got to, because in order to go to get the blessings, you got to go through the test. You got to go through the test, because the test is just literally testing your character, because God will make you, a steward over most when you're good over few. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just all those type of principles that's kind of saying cliche right now that we've kicked out the door that really win. You feel me? Those principles really win in this culture, because when you put the microscope on what a lot of stuff you see, when you really see behind the curtains, we look at these stories, unsung and all these stuff. When you really look behind the curtains and think about, damn, they broke. Damn, they didn't have this. Damn, this happened. It's man, you gotta take the stirs. You gotta put in the work, and then like for us, like when we started the organization, we didn't have nothing. Like we didn't have nothing, literally, but the vision that God told us to be faithful to, right? And we went through it. I remember getting my car repo, getting evicted. I went through, but I was like Job. I never said, F God. When my friends were like joking at me saying, man, you taking a long ride, you doing a positive road. I'd never let that detour me, because I understood that was their position. And I don't charge it to them, because they just trying to test me and see if I'm committed and faithful to what I'm faithful to. And fast forward, like all of my friends who were like that, most of them I got a security company. Most of them work for that security company. You feel me? All my friends who laughed and who didn't understand the grind, they all got, and I'm not saying that arrogant, but they they look at me as helping them get their stuff on track, right? And the good part of it is I don't hold them when they was in their ignorance against them. See, because if I hold that against them, then I'm blocking my blessings. Then I'm being like them. Right. See, when they came to me and said, "Hey, man, I need a job," when they were humble enough to say, "Hey, I need a job," if they was ready, I gave them jobs, right? And so that's the key, bro. The key is, man, we gotta have those morals and those principles, and we gotta stay on them. We can't fall for the illusion of social media. I don't knock people on social media what they do, but I believe I'm an advocate of those principles and those values. Loyalty, love, integrity, spirituality. All that stuff means to me. Like I really, my organization, all my companies operate like that. Like if you don't have integrity, you don't have no spirituality, you ain't transparent, you don't believe in redemption and transformation, then you not of this tree. You know what I'm saying? Because those are what's gonna carry you when everything else fails, man. And that's in anything you do.
Ooh, man,
yeah,
man. Listen,
you
man, dropping. Last time you dropped some gems, but this time, man, you dropped some heavy bars.
Yeah,
for
sure.
For real, man. And it's crazy because you said a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
But one thing that really stood out when you said talk about the principles.
Man, you gotta have those principles.
So it's a young boy right now, right? I don't know his name. You don't know. None of us know him, right? But 16, single parent home.
Yeah.
No father. He got the gang members that's trying to recruit him. He got the drug dealers that he looking at every day. But he's trying to do his thing, right?
Yeah.
If that guy was right here in front of us right now,
right,
what 3 principles would you tell him to live by that can help him get through the next 5, 6 years of his life?
Man, I tell him to believe in himself. I tell him to believe in people, and I tell him to hone in on his dream and focus on his dream. Listen, I had a young person who fit that, right? A young Hispanic kid. I think I may have talked about this on the last show, who when I was had a juvenile program, I used to pick the kids up 3 hours, teach them, feed them, and then drop them off 3 hours. I did everything. I did every bus driver, teaching, everything, because I believe in these young people. And I had a young person named AJ. He probably gonna watch this. And AJ used to always say, "Hey, Mr. Lucky, drop me off last." And I used to be like, "AJ, man, let's put an extra 30 minutes on my route. You know I got this mapped out." But I used to talk to AJ, and AJ was a Hispanic kid, and I knew that if AJ stayed in his neighborhood, that he was gonna be a statistic. He was gonna either get killed or go back to jail. And so I told AJ on riding home on the bus, "Man, you need to go to the Army, man." I said, "Go to the Army, man. It'll take you out the neighborhood. You get education, all that kind of good stuff, right?" And AJ eventually graduated from my program, right? And that was like in 2006, right? AJ found me on Facebook. I don't know how he found me, because my name is Bruce Wane. He know me as Mr. Lucky. And AJ called. He asked for my number. I gave it to him. He called me, right? And AJ fit all of the statistics that you just mentioned as that young 16-year-old boy, right? But what I did with AJ, I would always show AJ love. You know, I was always showing love and believing in him. AJ called me. AJ grown now. AJ is a grown man, right? He called me and he says, "Mr. Lucky," after we did our niceties, he said, "Mr. Lucky," he said, "Man, I'm dealing with something, man." He said, "And I know if anybody in the world could help me, you can help me, but I'm really in a funk and I need some help." And I'm kind of nervous. I'm like, "Man, what AJ finna ask me?" So AJ he said, "Mr. Lucky," he said, "Man, I'm a sergeant." And he said his class in the Army, right, rank. He said, "I'm a sergeant in the Army right now, Mr. Lucky." I said, "AJ, boy, you went to the Army?" I said, "That's a good thing." And then he said, "But Mr. Lucky, remember you the one told me to go to the Army." And I said, "Man, I sure did. I sure did tell you to go to the Army, AJ. I had forgot." And he said, "Man, I'm in rank." He said, "Man, I'm married. I got a 3-year-old, et cetera, et cetera." He said, "Man, but I work 16 hours on the base. And when I come home, man, I'm tired and I fall asleep and I get back up and I do it again. Man, I got a nice house, daughter, wife, everything." He said, "Man, but my wife said she finna divorce me." And I said, "Why? Why she say that?" He said, "She told me that she didn't sign up for this. Like, if we gonna be in this marriage, you need to court me. You need to when you first, you can't just working." And he said, "Man, Mr. Lucky, what I'm gonna do?" He said, "Man, I need my family, you know, woo, woo, woo." And I said, "Well, that's easy." I said, "AJ, listen," I said, "Tomorrow, I need you to make reservation at a nice 5-star hotel. A restaurant." I said, "You need to get a babysitter." I said, "You need to call your wife when you get off, man, tell her to get dolled up, and you need to take her to the restaurant, and you need to start doing at least once or twice a week." And he was like, "Wow," you know what I'm saying? And he hung up, right? We did our thing and he hung up. Man, AJ called me 6 months later. I hadn't heard from AJ. He called me 6 months later. And he said, "Mr. Lucky, man, I just want to thank you, bro." He said, "Man, 'cause you saved my marriage." He said, "Man, we good, everything good, man. I took your advice, et cetera, et cetera." See, man, you don't never know, right? Being present and helping young people, you never know. Our job, Dion, our job, Martha, is to plant the seed. See, we can't never get to where we don't plant the seed, because we gardeners. We got to plant the seed like somebody planted in you. We got to plant the seed, because you may plant the seed, somebody else may water it, somebody else may give it sun, but it grow. See, how many people miss the opportunity of planting seeds? When we look at these young people, the young person you talking about, who by all looks you can say is hopeless, they don't want to hear it, you know, they done gave up. You never know, that young person might be screaming and crying out for somebody to just see them, to give them agency, to say, "I see you, I got you, I've been there, let me help you. Man, go to the Army, man, do this, da-da-da." And how many times do we miss our opportunity because we so blinded in ourselves, or we so caught up in ourselves that we don't pass on a jewel. You never know what somebody going through. You know, our road is your story, what you've been through is medicine for somebody else. You got to get a medicine. Why keep the medicine to yourself? You got to get a medicine to somebody else. Somebody might just say, "Hey, Miles, let me tell you something, bro. You know, hey, man, do this, and your business is gonna take off. You feel me? Yeah. And then you do that and your business take off. You grateful for that person, man. You know what I'm saying? So I look at that with anything, you know, like our role is to plant seeds even in our young people, because you can say from your perspective that people are hopeless, but that may not be the case. They may just be screaming out for some help. You know what I'm saying? And so you gotta be able to drop those. So anywhere I go, I'm trying to drop jewels. I'm trying to always plant something positive in people. You know, just like AJ, just like the brother whose son got released. I'm always doing that, and I don't stop right there. I always look for opportunities to pour into our young people. What's wrong with our young people? Our youth is the first three letters. Y-O-U, you. You know, the people who are not taking the opportunity to pour into them and to give them what they want. And I'm telling you, doing this kind of stuff is that I believe is connected divinely to blessings.
Yeah. Man, so you and Uncle JoJo,
yeah,
y'all done came together.
Yes.
And y'all done started a podcast.
Trying to. We trying to start a podcast, you know, but let me tell you about Uncle JoJo.
Yeah.
See, Uncle JoJo, right? He a Gemini.
Right.
And Gemini, see, this is what I did.
I got a microphone back here too.
This.
Yeah. Hey, I was waiting on it. I'm like, if this cannot be real or what? You know what I'm saying? I was waiting on it.
No, look, let me tell y'all about JoJo, right?
You know he stay mic'd up.
Let me tell y'all about JoJo. See, JoJo, I Googled it. See, you know, because me and him go at it so much. And I Googled Gemini men. I Googled his birthday. I got it on my desk at the office, right? And what it said about him, is they indecisive. They can't make decisions. You know, they gotta have it their way, they certain way, et cetera, et cetera. Or they gonna argue you down, et cetera, et cetera. So me and him, you know, we talked about doing a podcast. We went through that process, right? And so he had me to have, you know, only thing holding us up is a logo.
Okay.
Right. So I had my guy who was, you know, to his credit, my guy was slow. It took him 3 months and then we had to fire him, right? And then I said, Joe, me understanding the temperament of JoJo, I said, I know I can have 10 people, you know, submit me logo. He ain't gonna like it if it ain't his standard. That's just Gemini stuff, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that is, that's just Gemini stuff. So I said, look, say, bro, try and do the reverse on him. I said, say, bro, you get the logo, and I'm cool. Whatever you get, I'm cool.
I'm cool with it.
You know, because I know you have the comparative advantage. You do podcasts, you listen to them. Whatever you come up with, I'm cool. I promise I'm not gonna argue. I'm an Earth sign. I'm a Virgo, so I'm an Earth sign. I don't care.
Oh shit.
I said,
okay.
You Virgo?
Nah, I'm Aquarius.
Okay, yeah, we Virgo, man. So I said, you do that, right? And you would think like he would have said, okay, being here Gemini, okay, he want everything his way.
Yeah.
But yet now Joe came back and was like arguing with me about me telling him to do it. Man, cause if I do it, then you ain't gonna wanna I'm saying, bro, you do it, bro. We good. And he went and that's been a 3-month argument right now. We've been going back and forth, man. But I read that they indecisive, you know, they indecisive. They can't make no decisions.
Yeah.
And that's just him. We're gonna have a good show if we ever get it.
Man, y'all gonna have a
good show.
We watched the little pilot, man. I'm like, oh boy, they do this, boy.
Hey man, he think his only objective is to criticize me on everything I do. That's his objective.
So we had Joe, you know, like when we first started doing our you know, the podcast.
Yeah.
And so we be like, hey, Joe, you know what I'm saying? We get moved to the studio. Like, you know how we do. Man, bro, it wasn't good. And he said, man, y'all know who I am, man. He said, man, y'all know who I am, man.
Give it to you.
I'm gonna give it to y'all, man. I ain't like it, man. I could have did better, man.
Hey.
I ain't got too much good.
But I'm gonna tell you one thing about
it. He mean well.
He mean well.
Like I tell Mozzie though, bro. When we have our meetings every week, like you need a Joe on your team.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Because Joe is the type of person that he gon' like he see the little stuff. Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
said, he
Oh,
so
my
detailed
goodness.
that he gonna know, and that make you get better.
Yes, indeed.
Because he can spot something and be like,
Yeah.
I saw you did. Like he can remember.
Yeah,
You
him right,
said
yeah,
this,
yeah.
You do it like this, or you say it like that. Then
Yeah.
like, and once you do it, you're like, oh snap, that worked. You know
Oh,
what
man.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
no doubt.
You need that.
You
because
gotta have a joke. You gotta have
got to,
cause he
You
gonna
got
joke.
to,
He gonna
got
joke.
to,
You know,
got to.
I call. I say he join. When I know when he join,
yeah,
he just gonna
yeah.
he join. But I love Joe. That's my brother. You know, wouldn't trade him in for nothing in the world. But he my brother. We gonna keep going. But yeah.
So what made y'all want to get into the podcast lane? Which I feel like y'all should have been had one, but just
Yeah, I think it was his idea. I think it was his. I know it was his idea, but I just think that, you know, the way we connected, the way we can hold each other accountable, because we got a lot of stuff that we got in common that we care about and that we have the same viewpoint on, but we also have some stuff that we fiercely disagree on, and we fiercely disagree on that kind of stuff.
Make good content.
And it make good content because, you know, not disagreeing in something you wrong, I'm wrong, but disagreeing in something in terms of perspective. Yeah, I think what we offer is like different perspectives, like his perspective, my perspective is totally different. Yeah, and so I think that, but at the end of the day, we'll probably, whenever we ever get this show off the ground, we gonna y'all gonna see us go some rounds. We gonna go some rounds.
For sure.
Cause he see, I just, he don't understand. Like, he just see level 2 in me. You know, he level 3. He just see level 3. He ain't seen level 1 yet. You know, he leaves level 3. He don't know, but I'm gonna take him deep up on that water.
Take him down
Yeah, I'm
through
taking
there,
deep. I'm
yeah.
taking
That's
him.
one thing
Yeah,
about
I'm taking
Bruce
deep.
Wayne, he got them gadgets.
Say, I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna take him deep. Joe ought to be ready, cause I'm gonna take him deep. You know what I'm saying? And you know, but I think when we do that, you know, and it's gonna be heated. It's gonna be.
I think something the city needs though.
Oh yeah.
sure.
But at the end of the day, we gonna stand on it, and we not gonna hate each other, you know, cause it ain't gonna never be hate. It ain't gonna never be where we beef, and it ain't gonna never be where we ready to fight. It ain't gonna none of that. I'm gonna get him just right to that
Right
point.
to the edge.
Right to the edge.
I think that's how brothers
And then
do
pull
though.
him back.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
pull
I
him
think,
back.
I think that's how brothers do. You
And
know,
he think he
brothers-
gonna do me the same way.
Yeah, for sure.
It's almost like who can stay the most composed.
Stand on the podcast coming soon. I promise you.
Who can stay
Stand on
composed.
Yeah.
Stand on the podcast.
Okay, I like
Yeah.
that. I like that.
Man,
OWN.
I like
And,
that,
and
man.
speaking of podcasts, you know, and things of that nature, like you're a radio personality.
Right.
Every Sunday you're on the radio. If you
Right.
you know, speak about that. Like how
Oh,
did
yeah.
you get that opportunity and how
Man.
long you been doing that?
I've been doing that for about 2 years now, going on 3 years. That's our serving on Sundays. It was originally a show that Bishop Omar was doing before he passed. They gave, you know, during COVID, we just got that slot and we've been locked in ever since. But Omar passed, you know, it was more churchy. But when I took over the organization, I wanted to highlight people like y'all, like brothers and sisters in the DFW who are doing some positive stuff, who are making change, who are adding to the ecosystem. I wanted to create a platform so Dallas can know people who are really doing the work, kind of like Insights when I was growing up. And so it's grown. We first started with like 50,000 listeners. Now we up to like 80 and climbing. And it's crazy because like when I go places, man, people be like, man, I listen to you Sunday morning, man. I listen to you every Sunday.
Yep.
And it's crazy because at first I didn't know people were actually listening, right? And then everywhere I go, like people like, man, I listen to the show. They'll tell me what the show was about, and it's just kind of, I'm still kind of soaking that in. But it's actually a platform for change makers and people in Dallas. So whenever y'all want to come on, talk about Can I Be Real? Y'all want to come on? I got y'all. Y'all, I'm gonna put y'all on that, man, and just expand the platform.
Yeah, I need you to put me on the radio, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man, and look, y'all. I gotta say this too. I gotta say this right now, right. The same neighborhood that I came from. I want to say this, just a testament to God requires us to be faithful, not successful. He give us success. The same neighborhood that I grew up in, that ultimately sent me to prison, that I started the gang in, that I kind of destroyed. Right. Right now, I am building along with my partners 50 affordable houses in my neighborhood right now. 10 just went up. We starting on the next 15. Yeah, I think that's big, man.
That's major. No, ain't no
Yeah,
that's major.
yeah.
That's major.
And they homeowners, we bringing homeowners back into the neighborhood. And it's crazy because when we got the lots, I think this we're talking about, we got the lots back in 2016. We bought them in bulk. They was like $5,000-$6,000 a lot or less. Now these lots are $70,000-$80,000 a lot. People be calling me trying to get me to sell. But we held those lots, right, because we didn't want to build until we had some in Austin to prevent the senior citizens from their prices, their taxes going up. So we were trying to do this tax abatement. We lost 3 times trying to push that. But lo and behold, that was 2016. City of Dallas came through. Dallas is 33,000 units short of affordable housing. So it's this crisis about affordable housing. So we had all these lots, right? So City of Dallas said, man, y'all put up 25 lots. We'll put up 25 lots to do affordable housing. They gave us $3.5 million. And then the American Rescue Plan, the Dallas County kicked in and gave us $2 million. Total of like $6 million to do 50 affordable housing in my neighborhood. So I got that happening right now. We about to start our next 15. We just built 10. I'm opening up a coffee shop that I had built in my neighborhood. Same thing. So we finally got to that's ready for opening. That's gonna be big. Also, all this on the same street. Also, I'm building a shout out to Trek, the real estate council, who came alongside me and some other community partners, gave us $1 million. I'm building a boxing gym in my neighborhood. All this is happening at the same time, right there in my neighborhood. So man, I'm proud of that, man.
Man, you need a fitness coach in there.
Yeah, I got you, bro. I got you.
Hey, you need a fitness coach.
Hey, I got you, bro.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Cause you know what I want, man, and I need you too, because I want young people to think that fitness and getting in boxing, is what they come into. But they getting fitness, boxing, and mentorship,
For sure.
and mental health, and all these kind of services. So the people that I have in there, like you fit the profile, will be people who can not only get them in their fitness, but also pull back into them, right? And so so I'm gonna keep y'all posted on that, because I want y'all to be posted when we do that.
I might not can do no fitness now. While he working them out, I'll just be in their ears just talking to him like, you got this. I'll be the motivation. I give the motivation all day.
And shout out to Amanda, man, my EA, man, because the other day, Martha was at the office. She said, is that who'd she call you, man? She said you was the brother played for Colorado. What's that brother's name? Travis Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
She said like, Travis Hunter.
You do play with him, bro.
It's the eyes,
Yeah,
bro.
that's what it
It's
is.
the eyes,
That's what
bro.
it is. That's what
Ever
it
since
is.
she said that, I can't unsee that, bro.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know, Travis Hunter dog when it feels, so I take that. I take that.
Thanks.
Say, I
But
can't
think,
unsee it.
I think people don't understand, man, like how much fitness do play like
Oh, yeah.
a role in lifestyle, though, bro.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
It's a huge motivation behind it, because for me, the only way you can grow in fitness is you have to go through the pains of it. And so for me, bro, success is pain. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like, bro, they're working out, they're fitness, bro. It's like, that's right in my ass right there. That's right in my ass.
That's what you need. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
indeed.
Keep yourself. I was telling somebody the other day, man.
Yeah.
And this is Can I Be Real, so can I be real, right?
Yeah.
Like, I was vaping, right? And for a while, like, you just quit that vaping. And this lady told me it was like 2 weeks ago. I hadn't vaped in like a while now. But I recently stopped though. But the lady told me, she was like saying something, and I was like, yeah, I don't vape anymore. I did it. She was like, yeah, it's better that you stop now before he forced you to stop.
Yes.
And she said it with so much conviction
Yes.
that I told my wife it felt like an angel was like telling me you did the right thing.
Yes.
Because if you wouldn't have did that,
Something could
something
happen.
Something could happen. Yeah,
You
no
know
doubt.
what I mean? So like when you talk about health and fitness, like I think we so focus a lot of times on being successful that we forget about that. Because Jeff Bezos on his deathbed, asking with all the money in the world,
Can't buy his life.
can't buy his life back, man.
Yeah.
And I think fitness too is like, and it may not even be like going to the gym and lift the heaviest weight, because I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't what they call ego lifting.
Yeah.
I go in there and just do what I can do to be better for me, but I do push myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I always, like I said, success is pain, so I want to accept that pain so I can learn the endurance. Okay, accepting this pain and understanding, like with that, it's like, okay, you're not gonna You may feel that pain from that workout right now, but you're not gonna look in the mirror 30 minutes later and you're gonna look like the Hulk. You know what I'm saying? That's not how it go. You have to accept that constant that constant pain day in and day out. In a few months, 3-6 months, then you'll start to see a little slight change, but it'll motivate you like, okay, I can.
Yeah, no
okay,
doubt.
That wasn't nothing now. You know what I'm saying?
Real.
So, but yeah, I think it's just that journey though for sure.
Yeah.
But kind of going back, but tying into what we got going now. So you said that you went through a lot in the beginning.
Right.
The repossessions, the L's that you had to take, the lists. I say that the lists you have to take, the evictions.
Right.
So it's some youth and some people, older people too,
Right.
they feel like, okay, cool, I done hit this point in my life to where it's like I'm losing everything. I'm taking too many L's. I'm feeling like maybe God mad at me, or maybe I ain't meant to be successful. Maybe this is a way of saying, hey, to wrap it up, you know, accept the regular life, you know, accept just the losses. How do you, or what can you give them to pull them out of that mindset? Like, it's just keep going.
Man, I think when we face with a lot of calamities in life, a lot of hardship in life, I think that's the you on the brink of breakthrough. That's the brink. See, most people give up in that part of life. Most people give up when stuff get hard, stuff get tough. But if we turn that, man, it could be God is taking us through these moments to develop and build us the character, man, so that when He bless us with the stuff that we want, the stuff that we after, then we know how to deal with it. All too often, man, too many people give up right before the. You know, if you remember that movie, New Jack City, when Pookie was in the drug program, and Ice-T said that famous line, man, don't quit before the miracle happen. Yeah. Most people quit before the miracle happen, man. Adversity is a part of life. We got to quit looking at adversity like it's bad. It's a bad thing. Adversity is what builds our character, man. And when we start changing our minds to say, man, maybe I'm going through this for a reason, but I'm not gonna stop. See, when you stop, then it's like that meme on Facebook that had the men underground digging the diamond. You see that one? Yeah, it's
right there.
That's the epitome of that, man. A lot of people they go through some stuff and they internalize that means that I'm on the wrong path or that it ain't gonna happen. But man, we go through stuff right when we get through a breakthrough. You know, you got to go through stuff to get the breakthrough. We just got to train our minds not to quit, because those things that come in our path, it's testing if we really for real about what we trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So young people need to know, like, we got to be teaching young people that adversity. Like I tell my friends all the time, like whenever I'm speaking, I go around the country speaking, I never leave that part out. Like, it's not easy. It wasn't easy. It wasn't just a cakewalk. Man, there's many times, man, I sat in my room and cried, man, you know. I mean, cried, but like, man, it's many times that, man, I was at that point, but something always made me say, no, keep going. And I'm just thankful that I kept going, because I could have quit. I could have been like the young people and say, man, this ain't working out. They just evicted me. They just got my car. Yeah. This ain't meant for me.
Call it quits.
And I could have called it quits. But I'm telling y'all, man, God has been good to me, and I think He gonna continue to be good. And I think it's a lot more up front, because I'm not quitting, because I've looked at. Now I expect adversity. I expect people to be hating on me. Yeah. I expect the people to be misjudging me. I expect people to be talking down. I expect that, and it don't bother me. See, normally I have a knee-jerk reaction to that, you know. But now that stuff don't bother me, because it's indicators that I'm on the right path. It's indicators that I'm doing the right stuff. And so when people are doing that, I go harder, because I said, man, I must got a blessing coming up. And it never failed. It always happened. When that happens to me, or when I'm in that moment in life, it's a major breakthrough right up ahead. I really believe that. Man. Yeah, I really believe that. I just was crazy enough to believe what God told me and stay faithful to what He told me, what He promised. I'm just crazy enough to believe that. Period. I just crazy enough to believe it.
Man, you done been around a lot of big names.
Yeah.
A lot of big names. Man, how you be getting in a room with these people? You done been with BG, Deion Sanders.
Oh man.
What?
Not just be in the room, like friends.
Nah, yeah,
like,
friends with him. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
friends
my
with
people.
him. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Man, you know what? Never switching up on who I am, man. I think like all of those people that you name and even others, man, they love me because I'm Bruce Wayne when I'm in the room. I don't switch up who I am. I don't code switch. I am who I am because I stand on these principles. I stand on loyalty. I stand on integrity. You know, those principles, I stand on truth and honesty. So those principles will take you way further than anything else, man, because most people, especially people who are successful, they just want to be able to know that they can have people around that they can trust. Yeah, that's period. They just everybody. You just want people that's not trying to catch you and and go viral and all that. You want people that can genuinely talk to you, man. I got friends, man. I got friends who are multi, like up in the 40, 50, 60, 70 billionaires. You feel me? And man, I'm no different with them than I am sitting right here. You feel me? And they appreciate that about me. Like I got friends who'll be like, man, when I come around, they be like, how can I what you need? How can I help you? And I be like, man, I don't need nothing. I'm good. I appreciate the friendship. I appreciate the mentorship, etc. And that kind of stuff keep me in rooms, keep me in those rooms. And I'm always talking about and uplifting and trying to reach others. It's never just about me. You know what I'm saying? It's easier for people to support you when you always supporting others. When you ain't intimidated by nobody else. See, I'm not intimidated by nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to plug you up. You know, I'm gonna plug you in. You know, because I believe principal entrepreneurship is not just seeking a profit. It's about if I can turn you on and you become successful, ultimately somehow it benefits me. You know, even if I don't benefit from you directly, but if I can say, man, let me plug Martha up and Martha win. You know, and Martha know, you know, where it came from. That's powerful, bro. Just think about if we did that. Oftentimes, most people hold it to their heart. They don't want to turn you on. They don't want to do this, et cetera, and they wonder why they not blessed, man. I believe in turning people on and just let whatever the universe have for them. And I just, you know, if the person respects it, they do. They don't. My job is to turn them on. Yeah. So, and God blesses me from turn whether they do whatever they do with it or not with the blessing. My job is just to turn it on. Cause what if you do? What if I turn Deion on? Deion turn 10 more people on. Yeah. You feel me? Yeah. That's the mindset that we gotta have. It's just gonna keep going, bro. Yeah, man.
Why? So let me ask you this. So Dallas has this stigma that
I was just thinking.
That's what great minds think alike, bro. Dallas has a stigma, bro, that it's really every man for himself, dog eat dog kind of world. Yeah. I was actually talking to Mike Green about it, bro. Yeah. I was telling him, I'm like, man, Dallas is like everybody is super selfish, bro. It's like if you're not in the circle already, if you ain't in that, if you know circle, then you're not gonna really get in unless you know somebody that's already in. You gotta be in the clique already. Dallas is full of cliques, circles, groups, or what. So it's like, why is it like that in Dallas? Why is it so segregated in Dallas to where it's like nobody want to, hey man, you know what? You just seem like a good person. Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. This is how you can grow, or whatever the case is.
I somewhat disagree with that because I believe like Dallas is too expansive to have a narrow descriptor. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like statistics, right, and numbers, right? If I ain't been, if the representative sample that I'm pulling from is this small representative sample, and we got 4 or 5 million people in the city of Dallas, and at best when we make that statement, it's normally it's a small group of people that's kind of interconnected, et cetera, then I don't think it accurately reflects the whole thing, because I can challenge and say I know, and I've been around people who don't think like that. I've been around people who do think like that, but I've been around people who don't think like that. It's just like when somebody from another city come to the city and they come to the city for the weekend and they only go to about 4 places, and then they formulate the opinion that, man, Dallas, blah, Chicago, wow, this and that there. In my mind, I say, well, that's not accurate because you only went to 2-3 places. It's 2 million places around there. You just went to 2. Dallas big. Chicago big. But it's easy to make that assumption just based off, and so not to deny that or negate that you do have that element. That crab in the bucket element, that click element. You had it, but you had it everywhere. But it's a matter of connecting outside of your peer group, outside of your circle group, expanding. And I'm always trying to expand. I'm always meeting people everywhere that I go, and I try not to stay like in a certain spot because those people just a reflection of the people that you've came in contact with or the people that you know. But it's millions of people, bro, who think like we think. Right. It's millions of people who out there who not like that. We just ain't bumped into them. We just, and I'm saying that figuratively, we ain't bumped into them. But I know people like that. I know people who don't think like that. I know people who've helped me that I didn't know. I know a lot of people like that. And so it's different, man. It's really different. And I'm challenging us to challenge that notion because, again, that's the algorithms. That's the algorithm. We got to go outside the algorithm, man, and we got to be representative of that other thought that you're talking about that don't represent that thought. You know what I'm saying? Right. But it's a lot because I have a tendency sometimes I will yield to that thought, but I've learned like it's a lot of people, man. You got Frisco, you got you out there in Florida Branch, you got in Allen, all that kind of stuff, man. You got people, it's people everywhere. Normally, that's just a sentiment of a reflection of the algorithm of our friends that we deal with. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? That's the algorithms of the friends that we deal with. I got some my son, head honcho Amira, my nephew Zillionaire Doe, Montana 700, Kiwi, Motion, all them young brothers, man. With this new Dallas movement, man, they a microcosm of what I'm talking about because they whole mission is how do we multiply Dallas? How do we give a new stigma to Dallas? How do we show unity and love in Dallas? And so you got movements like that happening that I'm so proud of because when I listen to them, right, when I talk to them, man, it's like, boy, they paid attention.
They giving Dallas a new wave.
They giving Dallas a new wave. They paying attention, bro.
Some good music too.
They making they paying
some good music. Yeah.
To be a part of that deal, they new Dallas deal. You can't beef. You can't beef with other rappers. You can't do all that stuff. And I'm listening to these youngsters because they like early 20s, man. I'm saying.
I love that too.
I said, man, I love this, bro. This what
they all gonna come up together.
Right.
Come up together.
Oh yeah.
Rising and they pulling each other.
And I'm gonna tell you, and the other part is, cause I pay attention to them, right? I listen to them. Man, they so sharp, bro. And they so ahead of the game in terms of allowing people to try to compare them and separate them, man. When they at the round table talking, man, it's like some mafia, man. How they talking in terms of, nah, we ain't letting nobody play us. This is what we standing on. Cause people try to judge him and man, he sound better than him. But Doe, Amir, Montana, all them boys, man, my heart goes out to them, man, because they really, really modeling what I think a breath of fresh air that this city needs, man. They really do.
Let me ask you this, we the stigma of rap and not just rap, but like the Dallas rap scene.
Yeah.
Y'all know like the Dallas rap scene
right.
has the good, the bad, and the ugly, right?
Right.
How supportive were you when your son first told you that like he wanted to be a rapper?
I'll be first to admit, I was the last to jump on his train, and I appreciate the fact that everything that he's built since then it's been on his own back two pockets. Like he didn't go around saying it's people now, baby. All people calling me now. Man, that's your son, cause he never told nobody that. You know, he did everything on his own. I never paid that. My daughters never say like, hey man, you know, he can rap. And I'm through. Cause I did the WMRM We Make Real Music movement that was here in Dallas. One of the biggest movements in Dallas, second to Clout. And we had Lady Savage. We were pushing her, and we had the whole city screaming WMRM. But after that wave, I had kind of took a back seat and said, man, I want to get back into the music because I had spent a lot of money. I spent over $300,000, and I got the receipts, you know, probably more than that. Those receipts I got in the music stuff, and it didn't pan out, you know, like I wanted it to. So I said I wasn't going to get back in it. And then when I started hearing about my son, I didn't even listen to his music. I'm like probably about 3 or 4 months onto him. But they pay homage to the OGs, man. They that kind. They the kind of youngsters that man you could be proud of because they ain't big headed, hard headed, and feeling like it's it's all them. They really on some like, man, we for the city, did it is, and just the level of they level of growth, man. Man, I'm telling you, man. Shout out to them, man. They really doing that whole zillionaire. New Dallas,
Facts, New Dallas,
2700, man. They doing their thing, man.
So what all you got? What all you got coming up, man? What events? What we need to let the people know and be on.
Man, listen, y'all. We got our OGU coming up. Our class, our OGU coming up May 28th. That's for any OGs, local leaders who want to just use their influence for good to help our communities because we need you in our communities, helping our young people make the right choices. We don't need no more mothers prematurely burying their kids. We need young people living as long as they can live. So if that's you, man, May 28th, sign up for our OGU at urbanspecialist.org or info@urbanspecialist.org. Sign up for that. And then in June 8th, we have our Killing Ain't Cool campaign, man. Y'all know what that is. Our Killing Ain't Cool is about just saying the neighborhood that, man, Killing Ain't Cool, that we coming into the neighborhood with a bunch of resources and love, peace, prosperity, and possibilities, connecting people with vendors, just showing our neighbors that we love them. Because often we don't do that. We got to just go out and just show people and love on people without an agenda, and that's just what that is. So if that's you, if you want to show up for that, man, make sure you hit info@urbanspecialist.org, send us a message. You could be a vendor, you could be a sponsor. All of it's free. It's all coming out to our neighborhoods. We cannot sit silently while our community experience an uptick in violence. You got to get off the bench and get in the game, and you don't have to be a gangster. All you have to do is just stand and just show your love. So Killing Ain't Cool, June 8th, and plus it's Gun Violence Awareness Month. So we need you to show up in droves, man. That's going to be big. So those are the things that we got coming up now, man. So if you want to be a part, make sure you hit us up. Hit me up, Anton Speak, on all of my social medias, man. Can I just be real?
Man,
look, man, before we get out of here, though, man, listen, hold on, real quick, man, we got, we do a thing, it's a little segment.
Okay.
2 parts to it, man.
All right.
One part is he said in the beginning, we like to take a break from the bullshit.
Okay,
man.
come on.
Out of all the stuff that's going on right now, man.
Yeah.
What's some bullshit that you would like to take a break from? That you would like to say, listen, man, this right here, that's some bullshit. Y'all need to stop it right now.
Can I do too?
You can do too.
All right. One is this. We got to stop the bullshit on, and this is accountability thing. This on leaders, black leaders in our neighborhood who are secretly hating on each other, talking down on each other, et cetera, et cetera. That don't help the cause. That don't help the mission. It's enough cause out here for all of us. So if you're a leader, man, and you talking one way in private and then doing another way in public, I can't stand men who smile, but then that's bullshit. I'm just call it out. So all the leaders out here, man, if y'all leaders, man, quit doing that, man. Let's band together, stick together, and get off the gas, because that's why the young people messed up. And then 2, we got this bullshit that we can't hang out, we can't kick it, we can't, enjoy ourselves and have some community pride without somebody coming through spinning on the block, man. Young people, y'all got to quit doing that. You make it hard for us to help you when you do that, because we trying to help you. We want to help you get right, get better. But if you spinning on the block and you spinning on neighborhoods and all that, that's some bullshit, man. And anybody step up to the plate, man. That's your nephew, son, whoever, man. Men, get in your kids' life so we don't have this problem. That's some bullshit that I say.
That's facts. That's facts.
That's bullshit.
That's facts.
Yeah.
Can I be real?
Can I just be real, man? That's all I want to do. Yeah.
Can I be real, man? Well, hey, man, we appreciate you for coming on here, man. This has been.
No, this
It's
dope.
been a good
Dope.
good show, man.
Great one,
real,
man.
Every time you come through, man, you
Dope.
Drop some gems,
man. You
bro.
drop
Thank you, man.
I ain't gonna lie.
You got some quotables
Bro,
every time.
I'm glad the first one didn't work out, bro.
Nah, for real, bro. For real,
Hey.
for real. He said something on the first one though that stick with me even to the day though, man. He said the weak, what he say? The strong
Rule the weak.
Rule the weak.
But the wise rule them
Wise
all.
Rule them all.
Ooh,
I
man.
tell my son it. I said the
Yes,
strong
indeed.
rule the weak.
Ooh.
But the
Wise rule them all, man. And man, before I go, man, I just gotta say appreciate both of y'all brothers, man. Keep doing y'all thing. Keep putting in the work. Stay focused. God only require you to be faithful. He'll get success is his. You know, so don't judge what you're doing in terms of am I successful or not. Just be faithful to whatever the vision is, whatever the mission is. Stay faithful to that, and God gonna give you the success, man. Can I be real?
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, can I be real?
Appreciate you.